Okay, so I almost didn't do this vlog, but yeah, it's Thursday evening and I still felt like doing it. So yeah, I'm gonna be doing it anyway this week. It's also pretty good to do it towards the evening because I can tell the lighting is much better. The only thing I have to make sure is that I get it done before the sun starts going down because I messed up on one of my videos with the exposure going all down by the end of the video, and yeah, couldn't really fix it properly. So um the yeah so the thing that really stands out this week is just that this week has been, compared to what I'm used to in the past couple months, it has been much more busy. And yeah, I can tell I'm not used to that anymore at all. It's yeah, it's really interesting. Like over the past couple months, I've gotten in a routine where I constantly have like feel like a space, or I'm enough at peace, I have enough clarity to really look forward to the next thing that's either on the schedule or to the next thing that I feel like doing. So there's always like this feeling of readiness for whatever's next on the yeah for whatever's happening next that day. And that feeling of readiness, that feeling of like anticipation for the next thing to come has been absent this week, and it reminds me a lot of what I was going through when I was just working in my regular engineering job. And yeah, I think it's when you just bring a lot of those things back, and it almost brings back this like this feeling of guilt about the fact that I have scheduled too much for this week. I try to be really intentional with my time and the things that I say yes to, but yeah, every now and then there's just a couple things that just for practical reasons just doesn't work out. And yeah, this week happens to be one of those weeks. And I have a tendency to not really drop anything from my to-do list or from my schedule, even though there's more things coming on the plate. So this week is really another good exercise to really cut into things that I really want to do, but I just can't do them. I mean, I can do them, but then I'm cutting back on my sleep, and then I'm compromising on one of the main things that I want to get to this week. So it's cutting back on sleep is always an easy thing to do, but it's not something that has really worked well for me at all. Usually, it only takes me like a day or two to be yeah, much. I wouldn't even say a wreck, but it's just like a fog. The fog shows up, and then I'm just in the fog, and then I yeah, I have even less clarity, and I start putting more things on my to-do list, and then I have a harder time cutting out things because I have this fog and I can't make decisions, and then it just spirals out of control. So I've learned to not cut back on my sleep. So if I don't want to cut back on my sleep, then there's obviously other things that I have to drop, and I almost considered dropping the vlog out of the plan for this week, but then yeah, I was really thinking, I mean, isn't this kind of a meta thing again, where I just can share about how I deal with these kinds of situations? Because, yeah, I don't feel that clarity, I don't feel that readiness, like all the time. And so, yeah, just navigating weeks like this is a part of, yeah, I mean, it's still a part of my life at least. So it's, yeah, it's something that I mean it's good exercise, and next week's probably gonna be different. But yeah, this week I think the main two things on the schedule were a training that I'm going through, and it's a training to become certified physical trainer. It's really interesting. It has a lot to do obviously with coaching the runners. Even with my running, I'm learning. Today was a good example of that. I had to do some kind of exercise, and yeah, I didn't do that well, so I learned something about myself there too. And yeah, so it's something that I really wanted to do, and yeah, training is just happening this week. And it also happened to be that one of the only slots that we had left that really made sense for me to do a really long trail run also happened to be this weekend. And it's not like it's a race, and I don't like have to be my absolute best that day, but it's probably going to be 77 kilometers. I say probably because it might be longer. We tend to get lost every now and then, so I'm anticipating more of a like a 50 miler. But that means that I really want to put in the sleep in the days ahead. I want to yeah, make sure I have my nutrition dialed in the days ahead. I want to make sure I'm properly hydrated, and all those things just ask for some scheduling, some playing around. And yeah, because it's one of those things that I don't really feel a lot of room for in this moment. But I know if I don't do these things properly, then I mean, all the training in the months ahead was cool and was still a lot of fun, but it's just gonna yeah, it's just gonna go to waste, or it's not gonna, I'm not gonna be able to how should I put it, um, yeah, I'm not gonna be able to pick all the or reap all the benefits from all the training if I'm not properly rested or hydrated or fueled. So those are some of the things that are really hard to compromise on if you don't want to mess up Saturday, or I just at least want to make it, just keep it fun. So those two things, the trail run together with yeah, with the training, well, at least the physical trainer training are the two main things. And then yeah, there's also the running that I'm still doing, also in preparation for Saturday. And yeah, that's those are the two main things that I wanted to get done. And so yeah, it's honestly just it's more than, what I usually have on the schedule, which I mean, I feel like I feel silly saying that, but yeah, it's. I mean, this is not what I prefer. I usually prefer to have it the other way, like what I usually have it. But like I said, I think it's a pretty good exercise. And just getting. I mean, there is no point in never wanting to have weeks like this anymore ever. I mean, I'm sure that in other phases of my life, this may be, yeah, more like a rule and not the exception. So um, it's in situations like this where I get reminded of the fact that the only thing that really makes this frustrating is my expectation that it were different. That yeah, basically that I would expect all of my days to be full of clarity and like and peace and quiet and ease. And so yeah, it's funny that when I stop expecting myself to be like one step ahead and have everything in control, and yeah, have an overview of what I'm doing throughout the day, if that's my expectation, then yeah, I'm just setting myself up for failure totally. And yeah, weeks like this are just a really good reminder of that. And so that's why I'm kind of practicing to just trust that the things that need to be taken care of are going to be taken care of. And then I go through whatever I'm going through at that time. Like I'm going through the training and I'm making sure I get in some studying in the evening. And then yeah, at the end of the day, I might not have a perfect overview, but still, those things are happening. And the training is interesting. I'm enjoying the runs afterwards. I'm getting in a good meal. I make a little Instagram story about it, and so all those things in and of itself are fun. It's just that I don't have a clear perspective and overview and all that. But like I said, as soon as I start dropping the expectation that I should, it's actually all just fine, and this too shall pass. So it's it's yeah, it's a good exercise. And yeah, I'm just glad that the exercise helped me at least share what's going on this week. And I think that would be a good point to round up. And yeah, I'm sure that if you're interested in following along about what's gonna happen on Saturday, the trail run, yeah, I think the best place to follow me for that is gonna be Instagram. And then yeah, I'm gonna experiment with the GoPro again as well. So yeah, I mean, I still haven't dialed it in completely, so yeah, it's I'm just still messing around. And then yeah, it's if something comes of that, I'm probably gonna throw that on YouTube and Instagram TV as well. And so then you'll have an idea of what happened there on Saturday. But we'll have to see how that turns out. So for now, I'm gonna leave it there, and yeah, talk to you next week.